Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. I am Adam. We are back. This is the preview for Fulham against Manchester United. Manchester United could go into this game having dropped to second place if Manchester City beat Aston Villa, and that would be level on games as well. But we could re-establish our spot at the top of the Premier League table with a victory against Fulham. And besides the predicament we're in, what position we could be in, this game is a must-win for Man United. We can't be going to Fulham away, a team that may be getting relegated or at least battling against relegation. We cannot go to this side and drop points. It's as simple as that. And yes, Liverpool dropped points against Fulham, but we are not them, and we need to maintain this confidence and keep this run going. Today, the 19th of January, the day before the Fulham game, marks exactly a year since Manchester United were last beaten away from home. Funnily enough, that was against Liverpool at Anfield, and that meant that they went 30 points clear of Manchester United in top spot. And now to think we're 3 points clear of them in the Premier League exactly a year on. I don't think any of us would have predicted that turnaround. But, as I've said many times before, Manchester United's state at the moment, you still feel that it's very fragile. You still feel that we're one bad performance away from a huge dent in confidence. And that's because, obviously, this has taken, this team's not in its final form yet. This team's not at the stage where we'd be expecting it to be top of the league. Because like I say, for us to be top of the league at the moment, as good as it is, none of us expected it. So, huge game at Fulham. The next two league games for Manchester United, either side of that Liverpool game in the Cup, are massive for us. We need to get 6 points out of 6. And like Ole Gunnar Solskjær said after the Liverpool game, this is only a good point if we don't drop points in the next two games in the league. So we need to get 6 points out of 6. And we'll be previewing that game. We'll be going through my predicted 11. I've got two predicted 11s because I do feel like Donny van de Beek will start. Or at least I did feel that way. And then when I put my 11 out, I realised that I didn't put him in it. So I've put one that I predict could be if Donny van de Beek is included. Because I feel like Ole Gunnar Solskjær would have possibly earmarked this game as a game where you can bring him into the team, into the starting 11. But today, when he's been speaking about Bruno Fernandes, there's no sign that Bruno Fernandes is going to be rested. And you guys can get your thoughts in on that as well, whether you think that's the right or the wrong decision. A lot of talk about Bruno Fernandes since that game against Liverpool. And he and Paul Pogba had our best opportunities in the game. Both of them maybe should have scored, didn't. You could see why they didn't score as well. They weren't the easiest of opportunities, although they were opportunities. And a lot of criticism for him. That clip of that pass that he miscued has been retweeted and retweeted over the internet. And I think it's, unfortunately, it's something that you see quite often with maybe not just Manchester United fans, but football fans in general. This quick need to, maybe be right about an opinion that they've previously held about a player. So as soon as they see a bad thing, they're then going to, pick at that and overlook everything good that they're doing or have done, or how it could just be a bad little bit of form. And we've seen it with other players. Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, Paul Pogba, Harry Maguire. We've seen this, and I don't mean just football. You can criticise people for giving the ball away, but this nuisance, this annoying kind of approach to it, and I'm right about something. You're not, And I think this criticism of Bruno has been remarkable. He's a player that has, not single-handedly, because I think that's disrespectful to his teammates and Ole Gunnar Solskjær, but he has been a massive part of why we have, improved. And to see some of these stats that people are reeling out about against the traditional top six and all this, that and the other. Well, Arsenal aren't in the top six. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's that got to do with anything? And yeah, Bruno Fernandes, his lack of form, if you want to call that, even though he was just Premier League Player of the Month, is a little bit of a myth to me, and one that I'm not going to indulge in. I think we need to stand by our players, even when criticise, okay, point out that they're having bad form, okay, but is there a need to go over the top? Does it mean that everybody's a fraud as soon as they have a little bit of downtime or a little bit of a trough in their performances and their form? It's going to happen, especially this season. Especially this season, where there's so many fixtures and there's no pre-season, and you're having that back end of last season, which was really compiled up. No pre-season coming into this season. It's going to be difficult for players as they go out throughout this season, and different players will have, these periods where they either need rested or they're playing and they're looking tired, or they're making bad decisions because they're tired. And I think that's all it is with Bruno Fernandes. I think Bruno Fernandes is a man that we should stand by. I actually think, all of this team, I like these boys. And even though you can point out certain, deficiency in some of their games, or certain, things where we need to improve and what we need to add to the team, or, positions we can improve on, yeah, that's all well and good. But I actually think pretty much everybody in this squad is a good character, good person. Most of them are quality footballers who are contributing to the squad. So I think it's a little bit harsh, to be honest. And some of the fallout from that Liverpool game, I was massively disappointed with the result in the end. Like, even though at times during the game, like I remember in the first half, I was thinking, just end this now. Do you know what I mean? Just end this now. Give me a point. I'll take it. And I was just thinking that at times in the first half. But then when you see the way the second half went, and you see the way the chances that we had, the Bruno chance, if he just gets it a bit straighter, it goes through Alisson's legs, or if he can lift it up, it goes into the corner. Paul Pogba's effort, hits it very clean, and the keeper hit straight at him in the end. He could have just got a little bit of a slice on that effort. It's a goal for United, and those opportunities were disappointing that we didn't take them, and the players will be disappointed with that too. And then you had obviously the Rashford Cavani. Like, we had instances that could leave us feeling like, damn, that was an opportunity to get 2 extra points and make a real statement and damage Liverpool's confidence and all that. And it's all well and good, but in the end, I don't think it was a bad result. I don't think it was a bad performance. I thought in the first half we didn't play. I don't think we were set up badly in the first half. We just failed to make the most of the ball when we had it. And that was because it was breaking down every single time. Fred, McTominay weren't completing passes. Pogba, Bruno weren't completing the final pass. Was just mistimed or misplaced, or, and it was real scrappy and scruffy for United in that first half. But I don't think that was because of the way we set up. I think that was poorly executed passes in vital areas by the whole of the team. And I think when Liverpool come out in the first half and they're going for you, it can be easy to fall into that pattern of just rushing, just giving the ball away. And we did for a little bit. But in the second half, we found our feet. And the passing movement for the Bruno goal, if you've not seen it, because when you're watching the Liverpool game and you're watching any fixture against Liverpool, you're so nervous with every pass. You're like, oh, on the edge, you feel sick, that you don't actually see that. Some of the passing moves that we played were very good. And I think it was a decent performance. A game of 2 halves, you could say, but it wasn't that bad in the end. And I think some of the reaction to it has been way OTT, which is what happens these days, I guess. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the post-match reaction and the game against Liverpool and whether it was a missed opportunity or not. Me, Jay, and Joe went into it a little bit deeper yesterday, I uploaded that video as well. If you've not seen that, you can go and check it out when we're finished here. Someone mentioned Luke Shaw's performance against Liverpool in the comments as well. He was obviously very, very good for Manchester United against Liverpool. There's been an improvement in his delivery and in his running going forward over the last couple of weeks. A gradual improvement. I still think he gets things wrong at times, and that's, he's not going to be perfect. That's fine, but I think we are seeing a Luke Shaw that's playing very well at the moment, and man of the match on Sunday for Manchester United. He'll be feeling good about himself at the minute, so it's a big performance from him. He did well, and yeah, I was really happy with his performance. That the arrival of Tellez, who hasn't played many games, but I imagine that's had a big impact on Luke Shaw's performances and his commitment in training and everything like that. It just keeps you focused. And when you're playing for a team that is winning games, is confident, is on the run that we're on at the minute, it makes, I'm sure, obviously I don't see behind closed doors, but I bet it's made training a little bit feistier because everybody wants to be in the team. And that's only good for Manchester United as well. And well done to Luke Shaw for stepping up his game. Ollie had his press conference today, and the first part of it has been released. He spoke about Fulham, and they've drawn with Liverpool and Tottenham. And he said, I think they've had a very good turnaround from a slow start. I think they made very good signings towards the end of the transfer window, and you can see that they're very well coached. Scott and the team, they trust their organisation, shape, and they're one of the hardest teams to break down. It's difficult enough to go to Craven Cottage anyway, but at the moment they're very well structured on and off the ball. They've got some fantastic players defensively, very quick and strong, good on the ball. So individually going forward, they have got players who can make a difference. So it's another tough game in the Premier League. And I agree with Ole Gunnar Solskjær in that, yes, we should be winning this game, but Fulham have some players in their ranks that can cause us problems. And credit to Scott Parker, because I had written Scott Parker off. I thought he was going to get sacked soon, and they may still go down, but they are playing much better football at the moment. Playing with patterns, playing with confidence. Looking dangerous when they attack. You've got the likes of AdamMcKola, Lookman, Anguissa, he's very erratic with his decision making, Anguissa, but he's very skillful and and I imagine he'll win a lot of set pieces, possibly penalty free kicks, and obviously he's a tricky player to handle. Eric Bailly could be handy in this game for keeping up with the pace that they do have in the attacking areas. So AdamMcKola and Lookman, and of course Anguissa, I think, are two of the ones that you have to look out for. I think Mitrovic is still out for them, so he's obviously a big miss. Is Mitrovic for them? He's questionable now, so he could be back. Anthony Robertson is suspended. That'll be a big miss for him. He's a threat going down the flank from a fullback position. Is Anthony Robinson. He got sent off against Chelsea, but they went down to 10 men early in that game, 40 minutes in, I think it was, and they still managed to only concede one, and I think they were fortunate to concede that. But he will be missed for them. Tom Kearney won't play, Mario Lemina won't play, and Congolo. So they have got a few injuries, and Mitrovic is doubtful for them. But like I say, AdamMcKola, Lookman, a threat for them. Anguissa, a threat for them. Anthony Robinson missing for them is a big miss. But Cavallero has been in big form. Ivan Cavallero scored a great goal for them against Spurs. He's not been in the best goal scoring form in the Premier League this season, although he did score in Fulham's win at Leicester at the back end of last year. But his goals have come away against Tottenham, away against Leicester. There's his only goals in the league this season, but two big goals for him. And he's a physical player. He's a skillful player. He can get in behind. He's quick as well. And he will be, again, another threat physically, aerially. And I think it's one for Harry Maguire and Eric Bailly to be dealing with. We've got a super chatting. Thank you, Nostalgic Neil. One day, mate, I'll watch a match with you. Big fan. Appreciate your support, Nostalgic Neil. Thank you for getting involved. And make sure you keep your comments coming in. What's going on, Sean? I can see you in the comments. Ross is in the comments. Sulbik's in the comments. Shubix does say Fulham give away so many chances because they play out from the back, and that'll be an area where we need to, make the most of. We will have chances in this game, all the way from Newfoundland. Nostalgic Neil's repping. Don't know what Josh is talking about at the minute. I can just see various comments. He said Fulham are proper rubbish right now. Yeah, but I think they are playing with confidence at the minute, and that's why you have to take all of these games seriously, United. We can't be going into these fixtures now thinking, oh yeah, we'll fuck these lot, because if we go into it, we're going to get a surprise, and taking every single game seriously is what we need to do. So whilst I agree with you, I also think we need to be bang at it in every game, because if you're not, and you give a team an extra yard of space, you lay off them a little bit, you're not quite as sharp into your tackles, you're going to get shown up, no matter who you're playing against. And they've managed to get good results against some good teams, so we need to make sure that it's not us. You know what I mean? Sorry, my brother's just texted me. But yeah, Subic says they're literally draw FC right now. Let's hope we don't concede any goals to them, because it should be a comfortable victory for United. Ollie was also asked a question in the press conference. This is how it went. I'll take you back 2 years. You were asked in a press conference a couple of years ago where you see the team in 2 years' time, and you said challenging for every trophy there is. If you're going to do that in the Premier League, Ollie, is beating the top 6 teams an area you can improve? Is that the biggest thing you have to change in order to do that and be considered genuine title contenders? Ollie responded, of course we have had some tight games against the teams around us this season. It's going to be tight anyway. I think only Tottenham of the teams around us have beaten us. We've not conceded many goals apart from that. Of course, we have not conceded to Chelsea City and Liverpool, which is also a strength to have. We've built some defensive momentum, and if you keep on winning the games that we have done lately, I think we will have a good chance of staying competitive towards the end. He was asked about Bruno's form. He said his form is very good. He's just been voted Player of the Month. He's not tired, no chance. He's one of the players who runs and covers the ground in every single game. Very good at recovery, very good at recharging his batteries. If he'd scored with his free kick, if he'd just put a bit of air on the shot when Luke put the cross in, he'd have been lauded as the best player in the Premier League again. Since he came in, he's been absolutely immense. No, he's not tired. If I ask him, there's absolutely no chance he'll say he's tired. That's what Ole Gunnar Solskjær says in regards to Bruno. And then it was said, is it that he's done so well for so long that everybody expects him to do it all the time? He said he's expected to create goals, score goals, and sometimes the margins are against him. That free kick, there are a couple of passes he plays through, and it's just marginal if it's onside or off. So he's always on the verge of creating something, even when he loses the ball. That's position I want him in, and that's what he's been told to do. He has to be the creative one. I want him to play the passes he sees. Asked about absentees, he said, we've not got the COVID test results yet. It's almost 38 hours ago since we did the testing, so hopefully we will get them soon. Everyone trained this morning, more or less. Brandon and Phil Jones didn't train, but the rest were on the pitch. So only at the moment, Brandon and Phil Jones are on the pitch. In regards to outgoings, which he was asked about, he didn't go into specifics, but said maybe 1 or 2 could leave. Amad Diallo, he said he's been very good in training. He can handle the ball. He's enjoyed training. He's making a difference, which is quite remarkable at his age. Some adjustment to settle into the hustle and bustle of the physical part of the Premier League. I can't see it being too long until he's in the squad. So that is obviously a glowing reference of Amad Diallo's early contributions to United in training and the positive influence that he has had. And they asked for further information on how long it's been. They said, will it be 4 or 5 weeks? He said, might be quicker than that. Who knows? He's settled down well. The players have taken to him, and he's a very good character. a very good smiley boy. He works really hard. He's doing his sessions and getting used to us, of course. There's always a period of adjustment needed, but he's settled in well. So that's what Ollie had to say in regards to the game. Obviously, in terms of team news, our team's in a very, very healthy state at this moment in time. So let's have a look at the predicted 11s that I have come up with. I think it could be one of two. So let's get my ugly mug over here first. Here's the first team that I've gone with. Again, like I say, before I started predicting my 11, I think surely Donny van der Beek starts this game. And then I got into it. Wan-Bissaka, De Gea, Maguire, Bailly, Shaw. They all picked themselves. Victor Lindelof's not going to... I don't think Victor Lindelof will play this game because obviously he's got a back injury that they're looking after at the moment. So I think they'll be managing him correctly because of that. Then you've got Luke Shaw there. I wouldn't be surprised to see Telles get a start, but I can't see Ollie making a wholesale amount of changes. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Donny van der Beek against Liverpool in the Cup and we saw about 7-8 changes in that game. Dean Henderson started, Mason Greenwood start, all these different players starting against Liverpool in the Cup. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Then I went with Matic, Pogba in the midfield, Bruno Fernandes, Mason Greenwood, Anthony Martial and Edinson Cavani. So whilst Ollie alluded to the fact he didn't think he would rest Bruno, I think you could do it, against Sheffield United next week possibly. That made me think maybe Donny van der Beek's not going to play. And I thought, let's get Marcus Rashford a rest. That's something that needs to be done. Play Martial on the left. He did well at Craven Cottage last time he was there. Got a great goal. Cavani up top. I think they link up quite well. We saw them play pretty well together against Everton in the Cup when Martial came on. I thought Martial looked bright in the first half. He was our only attacking player that was keeping the ball for United and actually building up any sort of attacks in the first half. I would have kept him on in the second half instead of Rashford. Ollie went for Rashford to stay on, which is fine. I think Rashford's in better goal scoring form at the minute. But I would then give Rashford a rest from the start in this game. If you need to, bring him on in the second half for one of the front three. But that's the team that I would go with, possibly. But then I thought, is there a way you can get Donny into this team and still play, a relatively strong team? So I thought of this one. Now, this is a possibility because we've seen Pogba play in this sort of position on a number of occasions. So you go with the same back five. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Maguire, Shaw. Nemanja Matic can drop in between the full centre-backs, allow your full-backs to push on. Then I went Pogba, Donny van der Beek, Bruno Fernandes, Martial, Cavani. So that could be a 4-2-3-1 with Pogba on the right, as he has done against Liverpool, Martial on the left, Cavani through the middle, a midfield of Matic and Donny van der Beek and Bruno ahead of him. Or it could be the diamond like this. So that's the team that I went for second time around. So those are the two teams that I went with. Kane says I like the first team to be fair, but I want Donny to start like you say. Ryan says who cut your hair on lockdown? My brother and some YouTube tutorials. It started off with me doing my beard and then it escalated very wildly. But yeah, that's what happened. Joel would like to see this second one. Sean says we can't take any chances. We have to be getting the 3 points in these games if we want to make 21 is coming come true. I'm Roberto says that is a beautiful 11. David says prefer team 2. And Subik says, geez, who needs to defend anyway? Hammy says the only way we can win the league this season for me is if Martial gets his confidence back. It's so vital. I agree with you as well. I think he will find his feet and get goals again. I don't have any doubts about that. Russ says team 2. Glenn Fletcher prefers team 2. So those are my predicted 11s. I've gone with 2. I've cheated a little bit, to be honest, this time around. But either one of those, I think we'll see in this game. And yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Massive game for Manchester United, but I am holding out for a Manchester United winning this one, and I think we will do just that. I am going for a 3-0 win to United. Martial, Cavani and Bruno Fernandes to be on the score sheet. Get your predicted scorelines in the comments below. Make sure you're keeping it locked. Like the video, subscribe as well. Join if you can, become a member. But for now, this has been the preview for Fulham. We'll be back tomorrow with reaction to the game as well. So make sure you're keeping it locked for that, and much more to come. For now, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.